Thanks, Robin. And for more on this, we are now joined by the former New York Mayor, Rudy Giuliani.
George,
good to see you again. Let's pick up on what Robin and Chris were just talking about, this Abdul Muttalib case. You've been quite critical of the decision to interrogate him and try him in the civilian system, but FBI officials say they've talked to him for over 30 hours. He's singing like a bird. He's providing usable intelligence. What's wrong with that?
Why stop? Right. I mean, if we've done 30 hours of questioning, right? Basically, in that first 30 hours, if this is a typical case, which it probably is, you get some valid information and you get some lies. Takes a lot longer than 30 hours to debrief a terrorist with the kind of history that he appears to have, the kind of knowledge that he appears to have. Why would you stop it? There's no reason to stop it, particularly since the administration has created military courts. It's not as if they've said, I wouldn't have as big a problem with this if the Obama administration had said military courts are unconstitutional, they're unfair. We are going to have military courts. We are going to have civilian courts. And it seems to me we're going to be trying the most dangerous terrorists in the wrong place, the ones who attack us here in the United States.
But under the Bush administration, those military tribunals, they got only 3 convictions in 8 years, and there were several convictions in the civilian courts, including Zacarias Moussaoui, the 20th hijacker. You called that trial a symbol of American justice.
It was. This isn't about whether you convict him or not. This is about whether you get information or not. If you put someone in a civilian court, within a short period of time, a lawyer is appointed, the person shuts up. If you have a person in the military system, you can question him endlessly for as long as you have to make sure you've gotten the full scope of information. And here's the most important point. You get it timely.
You just don't buy that they've gotten everything they can from
Of course they haven't. In 30 hours? Why would you ever get everything you can in 30 hours? And why, in God's name, would you stop questioning a terrorist? Why would you put an artificial time limit on the amount of time you could question a terrorist? And this has implications way beyond this particular person. I mean, this is the way they're approaching things. And it's part of it. I'm very hopeful that President Obama turned a corner yesterday. He first used the words, thank goodness, war on terror. Hasn't done that since he was a candidate.
He did do it throughout the campaign.
He did, but then once he became president, they're going to reject war on terror. I think it was an effort to separate himself from President Bush. The reality is, whether he likes it or not, we are at war with terrorists. They haven't forgotten it. And if he recognizes we're at war with terror, a lot of things follow from that. Then they're enemy combatants. They're not just mere domestic criminals. Then we don't close Guantanamo. I mean, it's totally absurd.
He seemed to be putting it off for some time.
Darn right he is. I mean, this was a criticism of Bush that was a pure partisan political criticism. When you look behind it, I know people that have gone to Guantanamo. You do. People I respect, including Democrats, who tell me Guantanamo is better than half the federal prisons.
President Bush said he wanted to close it as well.
Well, he did because of the pressure. It isn't that President Bush did everything right. This whole thing is like they say, well, you know, President Bush sent people to Yemen. Well, he shouldn't have, right? He shouldn't have sent people to Yemen. Obviously, now, if he could do it again, 1 in 5 people that have been released from Guantanamo have gotten involved in terrorist activities. At least. That's what we can measure. Well, that obviously was a mistake. What he should be doing is following the right things that Bush did. One of the right things he did was treat this as a war on terror. We had no domestic attacks under Bush. We've had one under Obama. Number 2, he should correct the things that Bush didn't do right. Sending people to Yemen was wrong. Not getting this whole intelligence thing correct is both Bush's responsibility and Obama.
The president has stepped up. He's taken responsibility. He's calling it a war. Are you satisfied now with his response?
Now I want to see what he does. Now I want to see if he reverses his Guantanamo decision. That would be a step very much in the right direction. I'd like to see if he reverses the decision to try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in court here in New York, which will be a disaster for New York. You see the mayor is now asking for $270 million in order to do it. We don't have to do it. And I'd like to see him treat these people as enemy combatants. I want to see, now he said war on terror, are we really going to treat it as a war, or is it just rhetoric?
Okay, Mr. Mayor, thanks very much. We're about to go to Sam in Chicago.